Well, hello everyone, I'm back, the new proud American conservative, yes, with more important info not too many of you can stomach. A quick story here, what happened back where I lived. A lot of you been asking me, especially on Parler, where I have a big following base, to tell my story, so for people to wake up. That's how the original idea came to my mind to start doing videos. So they were asking me, hey, listen, tell us what does hyperinflation look like? What is all this craziness that we're watching? Is it playing out the way it did back there where you lived in 1992? Yes, it is identical. The phases are the same. I'm not saying it's exactly what's going to happen. Hyperinflation is now more probable in America than maybe. That's unfortunate, but the way the Federal Reserve is printing money, the way all these monetary policies, the Keynesian economic system is put in place, it's really no other way unless they just do it honestly by deflating the market, basically, which means you're going to lose your 401k completely, all your investments, your Social Security will be wiped out and all of that. They're not going to do it that way. They're just going to hyperinflate it because they're going to want your children's children to pay for it through higher taxes, etc. That's how it's done. That's what they are saying. It's not me telling you. Just listen to Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, when he speaks. Sometimes you got to watch more what they do instead of what they say. But at this point, Federal Reserve is not only telling you by what they're doing, they're actually saying it out loud and in front of your face 24/7, and nobody seems to care. But you will care if you're not paying attention. So there is a saying that goes, a lot of you, everyone heard it. It says, you start missing something that you did not care for before until you lose it. For instance, right now, this is coming down to freedom, your own personal freedom here in America. It's been stripped away from you right before your eyes. And yes, it is happening under Republican president. It was happening under Obama. He just did it in a different way. This is right now in overdrive. Republican Party is completely on board with mask wearings and mandatory shutdowns, you name it. There are a few exceptions to the rule, like Wyoming, South Dakota, Montana, Utah, I believe. They're trying to be less radical, but for the most part, this is where we're going. So we waited in line back in 1992, ex-Yugoslavia. We waited in line to get drinking water because we had no water. And then people were getting shot sometimes by snipers. So they were just falling off the line and nobody knew what was going on until, a few seconds later you realize, well, it's a, sniper. These people are getting shot. So you just kind of freeze. I'm not saying it's going to happen here. But, with all the social unrest we're witnessing, nothing is out of the question anymore, and a lot of you know that. We had to steal. I used to steal cigarettes from whatever stores were still not completely wiped out to try to sell them for like a piece of bread. Dad had to take cars from someone else, steal them to go to the village to his sister to get food, because the government was taking, if you had 2 cars, they would say, well, I'm going to take 1 car, it's for military purposes, and they just show you some paper, and they got masks, guns, and you just kind of like, comply, get it? So so stealing, lying, cheating, killing, 130,000 people got slaughtered out of population of, I believe, 22 million back in the day in the 90s. So just think of the devastation that can happen here in America with, we don't even know exact number. It could be over 400 million by now. Who knows, right? So there's just a couple of stories. Besides, I have a cousin in Chicago area that had to grab whatever they had. Yes, some ammo, some gold and silver, because it was paramilitary groups running through these villages, burning people alive, killing grandmas, raping women, children, just nasty stuff. It was happening on both sides. Who knows the exact details? I don't want to get into all that anyways. I just know what happened. So yeah, I got a cousin that is, unfortunately, he's got some issues. Really never recovered from what happened out there. But if you did not have art, if you did not have gold and silver to pack up and go, you were just a target, and you would depend on government. You would have to wait for food, for Red Cross, United Nations. You had to wait in line. Just a complete mess. We used to steal stuff out of people's gardens. We were shot at, like, lettuce, tomatoes, whatever you can find, right? All of that. So everything that you're seeing right now, from burning statues, church not allowed, everything I witnessed as a teenager growing up in ex-Yugoslavia from 1992 to 1994. And I will post exact numbers down below so you guys can see. Yes, we had not just civil war for 6 years, we had hyperinflation for 22 months, so almost 2 years. And the peak ended up being, I believe, in 1994 at 313 million percentage rate just for 1 month. It got up to 313 million percent. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what in the world this guy's talking about? You can just Google it, hyperinflation, Yugoslavia, 1992, but I will post, not the link, because I'm not even sure how to do that. I'm very new at this. I don't know if YouTube allows it. I know on social media how to do it, like on Parler or Twitter, but here I will post all details so you guys can see. And right now, like I said, hyperinflation in America is more probable than maybe. If you are complacent, if you ignore what I'm saying, good luck to you. More stories are coming. I will tell you more details, everything that I can say that doesn't completely freak people to the point that they may not want to live. That's not the point of this channel. There is always opportunity in everything, but you gotta be prepared. We'll talk soon. God bless you all.